Boys, it's clear that we all have very different TikTok algorithms. I'm going to try and reset yours to be more food-based.
I like my jet wash pavements.
Ben, you have a message.
What's she doing? What's that? What was that? Is that pastry?
Is that pastry? White chocolate, milk chocolate.
Did she make shavings out of pastry?
I think so.
No?
Do you know what this reminds? Oh, that pistachio. Do you remember that?
Oh.
And yeah, why not
These
that
are
as
all
well?
tasty things.
She's making Rice Krispie cakes that we used to make as kids,
She has grown up Rice Krispie cakes.
but with that Turkish pastry.
There's a lot of chocolate.
Today we're putting 4 TikTok food trends in front of a chef and a normal home cook to see whether they're just too old to get them.
It's that pastry. It's like angel hair pastry.
Boys, the pastry that you recognise is kataifi, and you might recognise it from kanafa, which is a dish that we've had it in before.
Okay.
And I don't think I've actually had it because I wasn't with you when you guys had it in Dubai and it was recreated in the studio and I'm not sure I was there that day.
Well, this is a chocolate bar that's gone everywhere across TikTok. It was so popular in Dubai, people couldn't get hold of it outside of Dubai, so they started to make it themselves. So in that video, it was Biscoff, and basically people have started to create their own variations, peanut butters and things. We're gonna go for a pistachio, pastry, and chocolate concoction.
Excellent.
Wanna give it a try?
Yeah.
It takes me back to being like 5 and making Rice Krispie cakes.
What is that?
So boys, what we've given you is a version of the chocolate bar that Kush has made himself. Plus, now since this has gone so viral on TikTok, people have been making them at home and then selling them on platforms like Etsy. So we have bought one of the bars that people have been making, and that's the one that you have in front of you that is a slightly funny color. The other one is Kush's one.
Kush made
that one.
But that's just a chocolate bar.
No,
Is it Barry?
Look, see, it's not shiny. He hasn't tempered his chocolate, but he has used a mold.
That's pretty good.
The texture as you cut through it is glorious.
Oh, Kush. I mean, that can't be easy in terms of getting such a thin layer of chocolate around it.
You've done well to get the Lego shape imprints.
Yeah.
So essentially the bars are made with filling a shell of chocolate with the pastry that you would usually find in kanafa, pistachio paste, and cocoa powder is what we've gone for.
This is
Kush's
excellent.
first.
This is excellent breakfast. Here's my thinking. I know we like to talk about TikTok trends and these new things that have popped up.
Oh, hello.
I feel like we made a version of this for Easter about 8 years ago on the back of a tractor. Moving around a field on the back of a tractor, we made bird's nest chocolate, and it was using shredded wheat.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
what is this pastry? It's a wheat-based
What is that?
pastry in fine, crispy crunch.
So here's your pastry.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Definitely a pastry that is worth buying because almost impossible, I would say arguably impossible, to try and make it that
job.
fine at home. I don't even know how it's made.
As an experience, we're used to having a soft middle to a chocolate. Like, it's almost a caramel centre, but then with the crunch, it's kind of just adds a completely different dimension. And the pistachio makes that feel like a grown-up chocolate.
What it does is add texture, and what you need to do is add fat. The fact that this is sweet with pistachio and the fat of nuts and chocolate, so good.
And in Kush's one, he's also added a bit of honey as well, which I think takes that to the next level. Try the one that we bought from Etsy. So what I find really interesting about this trend is it's something that's kind of gone full circle. It was something that was available in one country that went viral because people loved it. Then they started to recreate it, and then they started to sell it in different countries around the world. So it's kind of done that full circle and just exploded out of this one small trend.
It's like the pastry's been blended before turning this into a paste. So you've got a crunchy paste inside of it.
This is great.
Oh, that is wonderful.
That one we bought from Etsy from a creator called By Desserts Pleasures.
As a mouthfeel, a texture and a taste, incredibly pleasurable.
The pistachio kanafa chocolate. Is it a trend that we're gonna follow fast, or are we just gonna
Follow
scroll
fast.
past? Oh, you did.
Really quickly,
fast.
follow
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
I like that a lot.
Oh, we're off to a cracking start. Let's move on to number 2. Right, Lucky Dip, one of you's got a message.
Guessing it's not me. Have you got this
How have you
message?
sent me a message? Oh, for good, I hate this game, and I turn my notifications off because I hate you so much.
That's why you never respond to anything.
Exactly. Oh, WhatsApp. Thank you, Jamie.
The sandwich game just changed forever. I just tried this new YCut sandwich. Many are people calling it the YCut. I gotta say, it's worth the hype. The art of sandwich cutting has never really changed, right? We have vertical, we have horizontal, we have the sort of chefy diagonal cut, and then there's psycho move. Look, throughout human history, people have been afraid of change, right? Especially things you've been doing your entire life.
Sometimes you just need to think outside the
I
box.
get people are afraid of the YCut, but
I didn't make it to the end. I got bored.
You do realize what video we're doing?
I know, but the two of you look very like you were taking that bit seriously.
Baz, I don't think you understand. This is groundbreaking. This is game-changing in the sandwich game, and it's something that's very close to my heart.
I don't care, because like it's one of those things when you know those things that get sent around, like which way do you cut your toast, which way do you cut your sandwich. I barely look at the bread as I cut it. I'm like, it doesn't matter which way it lands. It's going in half. It's going in my mouth.
Well, it's not half if you miss it. If you do a third and 2/3, it's not even
what?
in half, is it?
And
then you start with the smaller bit or the bigger bit, because then you're either left with more to enjoy, or you're like, I really enjoyed that, but I only got a
It's
third
going to
left.
end up in my face.
So you're saying you disagree with the Arizona State University's research that has scientifically proven that the way that food looks changes the way that it tastes?
I agree with you, Jamie. We eat with our eyes.
We're a herd of sheep, and we'll just do what we're told. Okay? It's just that people follow the crowd, do what they think is normal. So I don't care.
You probably tear it, don't you? Tear a sandwich in half. You're that rogue. What's interesting to me is we all eat too quickly, and we often don't stop to chat, have conversation, breathe. Sometimes it's just like another mouthful, food done. If you cut your sandwich into 4, not only are you a child, but also it means you have a stop and a pause between the next quarters. But I think this YCut 3 is like actually a safe middle ground. I'm on board.
Now, where this trend has picked up pace is that usually we all cut our sandwiches into 2, and you either do it straight down, straight across, or diagonally. Now, when you cut your sandwich into 3, by the time you get to the end of the second third, you feel like you've had a whole sandwich. And when you look down, oh my goodness, you've still got more sandwich left. And that, for me, is the game changer there. Now, boys, we could talk about this all day, and we could join in the conversation online.
I'm going to do a podcast.
And we could do it all
We've already been talking for too long.
Theory and hypothetically speaking. But I think we should put this science to the test.
Yeah, give me a sandwich.
Sandwich facts. That cup sold like that with better square bread. That's how I'm going to make up a fact. 85% of sandwiches are sold in the UK. At home, I'm like this.
At home, I'm like this.
And then you can do that and you've got room on the plate for a little salad or a bag of crisps.
Or put the crisps inside the sandwich.
So there's my YCut, right? I think it might be a more premium sandwich. However, it triples the time to cut it.
But if it tastes better and psychologically you feel like you're eating more sandwich, is that not worth the extra time?
I tell you what, Baz, you have this one, I'll have this one, and then there's still a section that we can fight over.
For my family, really useful. 2 grown-up portions and a kiddie portion.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all about the filling, because it has to therefore be equal. I liked it, I like that it's been challenged, I like that lots of people have seen it. 10 million people have reconsidered the way they cut sandwiches. I'm here for it.
This type of content works as a photo, a like, and a comment, not as a sit down, review it for might be 10 minutes, what feels like an hour.
I mean, there's also a lot of other conversation as well about where would your next bite be? Have you seen these pictures of sandwiches that have had like 1 or 2 bites taken out of them and then debating on where your next bite would be?
This is his TikTok trend, is he just gets he gets fed sandwiches all the time.
Yeah, I personally campaigned for this trend to be put into this video. So boys, the YCut sandwich. Is it a trend that you're going to follow fast, or are you just going to scroll past?
Scrolling past.
We've literally just had a lovely chunk of a sandwich each and there's still some left. So that is the surprise. Yeah. It does exactly what you wanted it to do, Jamie. I think it's interesting. Will I follow that person for more interesting thoughts? Yes, because who knows what the next one will be.
Number 3.
Come on, we need better than the last one. We're better than that.
Barry, we're not. Stop.
We're not.
Coke and peanuts. I absolutely
somebody is
love
putting
Coke,
peanuts
so
into
I
a
had
Coke
to try this when I
bottle.
saw it on TikTok. It's a salted peanut.
Take.
And honestly, it tastes pretty damn good. I would definitely
Oh,
do it
no,
again, just
Jamie.
not every single time that I drink.
Is this
Coke.
one your idea as well, Jamie? This is not a trend. This is a silly thing someone once did, and the world is so bored of, real conversations that this is the kind of stuff people are consuming instead.
So boys, this is Farmer's Coke. This is a trend that goes back to the 1920s. And people have been trying it out again recently on TikTok. It's a simple combination of 2 ingredients, Coca-Cola and salted peanuts.
What we did like a few months ago were some of the brands from other places in the world, like, was it the cumin Sprite? And sodas are incredibly high in sugar, so a little bit of salt added in, good.
Yeah.
I personally don't like, and I know they're very popular in some parts of the world, I don't like boiled peanuts. So I fear for my personal preference on how I like my nuts in this particular TikTok trend.
Do you want to give it a go?
Why not?
So it's a snack from the southern states of the USA. It's still found at social occasions and beaches in states such as North Carolina. In the 1920s, packaged and shelled peanuts became commonly available to buy, and Coca-Cola was attributed to blue-collar Americans who didn't have a place to clean their hands before snacking, so they simply dumped their peanuts into their Coke. Also, a very quick and easy snack for people working on the farms, hence the name Farmer's Coke.
So like the pasty, there is an origin story to it that makes sense. I'm a big fan of nut traditions around the world. We were in Singapore and there's that bar where you just get a bowl of monkey nuts, or peanuts in shell. And as you crack them, you just throw the shells on the floor. And by the end of the night, you're wading through peanut shells. But that's kind of part of the vibe in like this speakeasy bar.
I feel like I've also done this myself, but not on purpose. Like sitting there watching the football, have a few nuts and daisy, I dropped it in my Coke. Doesn't matter, I'll sip it out. How many?
Loads, Baz, it's delicious.
What?
Yeah. Yes! These are the things I see on the internet and they make me angry. And then you learn a bit more about it and why it happens and why it's kind of been brought to the foreground again. And it makes you less angry, because you're like, oh, it's interesting, that has a backstory. And then, if you have the time and wherewithal to sit down with your friends and actually try it, it can change your mind.
Baz?
So for eating the nuts beforehand, then having my Coke, I was getting salty Coke. I was like, tastes nice. But what happens here when the nuts are in the Coke is you also get sweetened nuts. Slightly soggy, but it's still with a crunch as long as I eat it quickly. He's taking a photo. It's an enjoyable experience.
I think we could upgrade this, Baz.
What's its in Fanta?
No.
Right.
What's it in
We very nearly came across a solution for salty fingers. If it was sold with a funnel and you could just... and you've never had to touch a salty nut, then this is actually a more pleasant way to eat without having salty fingers.
What if it became so popular that when you go to your soda vending machine, you get the ice, you get your Coke, and you go to the next one along, peanuts, straight in.
These are the best TikTok trends, the ones that make you angry, but then actually turn you.
Well, why don't we end the conversation there then? The Farmer's Coke. Are you going to follow fast or just scroll past?
Follow fast.
Follow fast.
I think that's 3 out of 3 so far.
Whew.
Don't mess up the last.
Room for one more.
I often come into these videos with trepidation, but I'm enthralled today.
Baz, your eyes widened.
Must be you, Baz.
I'm not a massive matcha fan. Eggy bread. Eggy matcha bread.
Eggy matcha bread with a condensed milk middle. Oh, and a mascarpone puddle.
Okay, gotcha.
So this is lava toast. It's an evolution of French toast. It's gone absolutely mad on TikTok. It features a puddle of creamy liquid on the top, which spills out when cut, therefore imitating lava flowing out of a volcano.
I'm not a massive matcha fan, but I think if I did a version of that with some chocolate and coffee and cream, I'd be here for it.
There's nothing wrong with the ingredients.
No,
You're
it's
just
fine.
reformatting it to give you that moment that the internet loves.
You're evolving it.
Yeah. No.
Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been given a concoction.
Well, okay. Good combo here.
Good combo, chocolate.
Chocolate, Biscoff, condensed milk is your main flavours.
There's a cafe in Sydney called Mika, who's been serving this since 2017, but it has recently hit the mainstream.
Sweet eggy bread, fine. The only thing is you've got a lovely crisp golden French toast, and then you kind of squidge it in order to make space for a puddle.
And then you make it really soggy, which is what's caused the most debate about this dish, is if you're making golden crispy French toast, do you really want to make it soggy?
Baz,
Ooh,
lava.
nice, decadent, lovely, yeah. Is it loose enough? Also, it's going to warm up, isn't it?
Yep.
So,
Make yourself a divot, Baz. This seems like a shame.
squash. But
Like
you're squashing.
light eggy bread that you've just taken all the texture out of. Service for table Instagram.
I do quite like the look of that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
As
it's
soon as
really-
you cut through the wall of that French toast,
It is wet.
it is going to be lava-esque.
That's it.
Cheers.
How does it taste? Because is it a dish that is just there for the looks, or does it have the flavour to back it up?
For me, it's too sweet. It's like dessert, not French toast breakfast. But I think if we did this again with thicker bread, so you actually get a really lovely, thick, custardy bread, and then maybe instead of condensed milk in the middle, you put something else, like a bittersweet, and then like a chocolate thing or something. I can see how you could balance it. It's all very sweet with the condensed milk in the middle.
I love it. And I don't think it's sweet enough, if I'm honest. If I was making French toast at home, I'd go and find a nice bread. But if I haven't got any, this is a good way of elevating average bread.
I like dynamic food, and this is evolving what French toast is, but it also evolves as you eat it.
Right, it's a lava toast, boys. Are you going to follow fast, or just scroll past?
I've done it, so I'm just going to scroll past now.
Following
this one.
fast, why?
He can't have all four yeses.
Yeah, I love the first three. I can't possibly give Jamie 4 out of 4. I'm glad we did it. For me, I'm following fast. No, scrolling past.
Well, Ebbers can't make up his mind, but what about you? Comment down below, let us know what did you think of those TikTok food trends, and what trends should we be testing next?